Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. If this is your first time, you're welcome to my channel. And if you are my subscriber, I want to say thank you for your support, for your likes, comments, and everything. So if you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that each time that I upload a video, you're going to be notified so you don't miss out on anything that's going to be happening shortly. Okay, so thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. I know it costs nothing to subscribe or to like or to comment, but at least somehow not everyone is willing to do that. So the few that do support me, I really do appreciate, and the love is massive. Okay, so without saying too much, so we're going to be talking about university students, or the things that you should know before getting to university, especially first year students, maybe those that are going to be staying home and schooling, or those that are going to be staying away from home, maybe staying on campus or off campus residence but far from your home. The things that you must know, because it's not the same with you doing high school, it's a lot of difference. And that is why you see so many students when they get from high school and they're doing absolutely well, they get distinctions and so many good performances, but when they get to university, they find it difficult to incorporate the work, incorporate with the environment. Communication becomes a problem. You lose self-confidence because you see so many people and you feel like they're gonna do better than me, so you just try to step back. So it's a lot of difficulties in the university, but you must know how to navigate them so that you do absolutely well. It doesn't stop you, the population does not stop you from doing good. The lecturers do not stop you from doing amazing. So if you can incorporate everything, you can work together, you can know that I am going to do this thing at this time, then it's going to work absolutely well. So I'm going to start to talk about things that you must know before you get to the university. Even if you're staying from home or you're staying at home with your family and schooling in the university, you should know these things. So the first thing is that you're going to get independence. Independence can be good and bad depending on who you are. Some people want their families and they want to stay with family. They don't really want to stay away from home, right? That is fine. But someone wants to be on their own, that they want to do things by themselves. They do not want anyone to control them, so they want to do their things by themselves. You get the point? So it depends from your own perspective if you want to be independent or not. Because remember, when you're staying at home, maybe you go to school and coming back, you've got food that has been prepared already for you. You just need to eat. But imagine you staying by yourself away from home. You have to cook, you have to look for what you have to eat, and before you get to work again. Do you see the thing? So firstly, if you want to look at independence in the positive direction, it's a good thing. It's very nice, because some point in life, you're gonna leave your family and maybe you're gonna start doing your own things by yourself. And when you're in the university, this is already like in preparation for you to be able to know that you can manage things by yourself, for yourself, and even other people around you. Do you understand? So if you're looking at independence in a negative direction, it's because no one is there to control you, right? So you can do whatever at will, at any time, any moment of your choice. No one's going to control you. So when you're looking at independence in the positive direction, it depends on people. For you to be independent and be positive, it means that you are very disciplined. If you cannot discipline yourself that I'm not going to do this thing, I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm not going to go to this direction because my friends are going. I'm not going to go to this place because my friends are going. I'm going to do what is appropriate for me to do at that time. That is disciplining yourself, the ability to say no. You don't just want to be like being that they're going to push you that side, or someone without direction, that when they're going right, you just follow them. When they're going left, you follow them. That's not going to be nice at all. In the university, even if you stay at home, you go to school, your family is not going to be there to control you. Lecturers are not going to be there to look out for you. Did you do your homework? Did you do your assignments? That's the difference between primary, high school, and varsity. No one's going to ask you, or no one's going to punish you for not doing your assignments, for not doing your class or for not coming to lectures. No. So independence, you can be positive or negative. If you want to be positive, it's going to be, you have to discipline yourself first and say that I'm only going to do what is necessary for me. I'm not going to go out at this time. I'm not going to watch movies at this time. I'm going to be able to say no to things that I don't want to do. You get the point? That is very nice. But when you look at it in the negative perspective, it's like you just being yourself. You just want to live life. You just want to do things even without thinking on the negative impact that's going to cause you. Maybe you have an assignment to do and you rather not do it. You rather go out with your friends. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. If your friends are going out, you just follow them. If they're not caring about your education, you also just follow them and you guys are working together. So you're not disciplined enough to have that ability to say no to certain things in your life or to make certain decisions for yourself that are going to benefit you in the nearest future. Okay. So with that being said, you've got independence when you get to university. You can either choose to make it positive or negative. But with the positive one, you're going to see the results soon, even sooner than you think. Okay. So second one is budgeting. When you get to university, even high school, maybe you've got allowance, maybe monthly allowance that your family is going to give you. If you were on a sponsorship or bursary, they're also going to give you allowance, and you must be able to budget that. In the 1,500 rands that they're giving you per month, you have to be able to know that it's going to take you throughout the month. So you have to be able to budget it. What am I going to get during this month? Is it really necessary? Or can I leave it for later? Should I get things that are going to be beneficial for me now? Or I'd rather just buy things that are inappropriate? Do you get the point? So budgeting is a major problem because even with students, especially varsity, you get peer pressure where you see something and you're like, oh, I just want that thing. But it shouldn't be done that way. Because your friend has it, not because you saw it on social media, because we're in the generation now, not because you saw it on an influential post and you're like, yo, I like that dress, I like that shoe, I want to get that shoe. And the thing again with students is even it doesn't depend how much money you have. When you must be able to budget that in this month, even if I want to save some of my allowance, maybe 200, I have 1,300 rands left, right? So with that, I have to be able to know that I'm going to buy things, maybe like food. I'm also going to budget. I don't just buy anything. I'm going to buy things that I'm going to be cooking with, that I'm going to be using them this month, so that by next month, if they're like perishables, that I'm not going to buy too much because they're going to get bad, because maybe they can't stay too long in your fridge. So you have to be able to budget yourself. Budget your money. Budget that I'm going to spend this amount of money in this period, so you can give an account of what you've spent, of what you got. Because if you're not accountable for everything that you do, you cannot say, okay, I did do. You cannot give anything at the end of it. You have to be able to manage your finances if you can budget it properly, because it's very essential. You don't want to get your allowance at the beginning of the month and in a week or two it's finished and you start looking around with your friends like, okay man, I'm gonna visit you, did you cook, I'm hungry. It shouldn't be done that way, because a lot of things are happening now. You have to be able to manage for yourself, budget what you're going to be spending. If it depends on how much you have. So someone that has 1,000 is going to budget different from someone that has 1,500. Also depends on what you like to eat, what you like to do, stuff like that. Everyone is not the same. So I can't budget for you, and maybe you can't budget for your friend. Maybe depending if you guys sit together and say, okay, we're going to be eating rice, pap, and stuff like that for the week. Then you can budget, okay, we're going to spend 300 rand. With varsity, with university, or with high school life, you have to be able to manage your time effectively. Even with high school, it's even much better. When you get to university, it's a lot of work, because first semester maybe you're going to be doing like 6, 7, 8 modules for one semester, and you see that it's a lot of work. And again, like I said, independence, because no one's going to force you to do the work. It's your choice. You can either choose to do it or not to, right? So if you can't manage your time properly and say that I have 3 quizzes in a week, I have 2 class days in a week, I have 2 group assignments that are going to be due by the end of the month, I need to be able to budget myself to manage my time effectively and say from 7 to 8 I'm going to be studying for the quiz, from 9 to 10 I'm going to be doing my assignment, because you have to start doing research even from first year, that you have to find relevant sources, you paraphrase them, you reference them. So it's a lot of work for you. You can't do that group assignment in a short period of time. That's why they give you a long period so that you can find your relevant sources, you can paraphrase them in your own words, you find relevant information, and then you also reference it. So it's a lot of work. If you can't manage your time properly, you always find yourself lost in the bag. When everyone is ahead, you will stay behind, struggling to find a way to fit in, but it's going to be very difficult. So this is the thing. When you get to varsity, when you didn't prepare for class, or you woke up late and you're like, oh, I only have 10 minutes, 20 minutes to get to class. It's better for you to go late to class than to say, no, I'm not going to attend this class, because later on, you're going to be trying to catch up. For example, if you miss a class from 79 and you did not attend that class from 79, the next class that you have, or the next lectures that you have, maybe from 12 to 2, maybe you're going to attend that one. But later, someone's going to say, no, I can't attend the one from 12 to 2, so I'm rather going to try to catch up for the one that I missed in the morning. So did you see, you missed the class in the morning, and you're missing the class in the afternoon because you're trying to cover up for the class that you missed in the morning. So what's going to happen to the class in the evening? Are you also going to miss it because you're trying to cover up for the class that you missed in the afternoon? So the cycle is going to continue like that if you don't put a stop to it and say, no, I'm going to do that class that I missed during my free period, so that I don't get to miss another class because I want to cover up for another class. Because when you do that, the work keeps piling up, and you keep on trying to cover up for classes that you've missed, or for work that you've missed, and you're going to find yourself someday, somehow, that you lost a lot of information. You missed a lot of information, because lecturing is not like primary school where they have to give you words to words. They have to tell you everything. So the lecturers are going to put slides on the screen, and they just pick the most important words and they tell you, and you can't perfectly understand everything just with that. So it is now your responsibility as a student to go find maybe your textbook online, or other relevant sources that you can find about that heading, or about that chapter, or about the study in it, and then you work more on it with the slides that the lecturer has provided for you, a student, to use to be able to pick key information under the words or under the points that the lecturer has given. So you have to be able to manage your time effectively. Do not miss a class because you want to attend another class. It's going to be a very bad thing, because you're going to keep on trying to cover up for the classes that you've missed, and you're going to keep missing more classes. And when you miss a class, it's very difficult for you to catch up, no matter how hard you study on your own, because the lecturer is going to say, sometimes it's just you listening and you understand much better. You just go sit to class, and the lecturer is going to say something, and it's going to be stuck in your head that you can't forget it easily. Each time that you're studying now, you're going to remember what the lecturer said, and you're like, okay, now I understand this thing. But if you just go reading by yourself, it's going to be difficult. Actually, I've tried it sometime, but I'm like, okay, it's when you miss class, you're gonna start everything from the beginning, because you have to be able to pick key information, and it's very difficult for a student by yourself without a lecturer giving some prior message for you to be able to pick the points under the headings that the lecturers have given. So pay attention, do not miss class, manage your time effectively. Say that from this time to that time, I'm going to be doing this particular work, so that I know that from 7 to 8, maybe I'm resting, from 9 to 10 I'm doing my assignments, I rest, and I wake up late, early morning to study before class. One thing, if you can't manage your time properly, you're going to procrastinate. For real. And procrastination is something that's going to be very disturbing, because you have work but you can't do it. You say, no, I'm going to do it next week, I'm going to do it next tomorrow. For example, if you have a group assignment, or if you have an assignment that you even have to do it by yourself, but university mostly had group assignment in undergrads. But let's say, for example, that you have to do it even by yourself or in a group, and your work is to find relevant sources. You write it down by paraphrasing in your own words before you putting the references, because you actually have to reference. Because if you don't, you're going to be penalized for it, because you copied someone's work without giving credit to the owner of the work, right? So with that, if you say that I'm going to start doing the assignment tomorrow when it's due in 5 days, you're going to see that's going to be a lot of work for you, and it's not going to be good as someone who started doing the work a month ago. You understand? Because firstly, it's not easy to find relevant sources, because you have to pick information in the sources. You don't just have to copy everything and paste. That's a problem. So you have to be able to pay attention to read it properly before you can pick relevant information, right? So if you use today, you say, I'm gonna find relevant sources. That's how you divide your work, and you make sure that you plan accurately, so that by the end of it, you can go over your work, you can check your mistakes, you can check if you did paraphrase correctly, or you can check your reference list to see that you did reference it correctly, because that's gonna give you marks, right? So if you want to divide your text into maybe 5 days, you're gonna see that's a lot of work for you. Finding sources, relevant sources, paraphrasing in your own words, creating a reference list, it's a lot. But if someone uses a month to do the same work as you used a week to do it, it's not going to be the same. Because before that person submits the assignment, they're going to go over it over and over to see if they can correct their mistakes or some way they went wrong along the line. And they can even go to the lecturer to say, sir, this is my work, ma'am, this is my work. What do you think about this? Do you think I'm going through the right direction, to you the right direction and stuff like that? But if you are rushing in 5 days, you're finding sources, you're paraphrasing, you're typing it out, you're creating a reference list, you won't even have time to go to your lecturer, and you won't have enough time to go over your work and see that you correct your mistakes. So manage your time effectively. One thing again in university, this is point 4, is isolation. You can either choose to isolate yourself, or you can choose to participate, or you can also choose to connect with people. Isolation, social participation, and communication. Because even with the thousands of students on campus or in the university environment, some students still especially first years, they complain that I don't have friends. I don't have friends. I don't know anyone. Because what you do, you just move from one lecture class to another. You just go sit your place. But in university, you have to be able to communicate with people. If you can't communicate, no one's going to know your problems. Because I can't just see you on the road and I tell you that you are struggling with this thing. If you cannot tell me, how would I know? But until we communicate, it's going to be difficult for us to understand each other. So many people do communicate and they find themselves very social. Because if you aren't social, you're going to find yourself in so many places that you can't access. Yes, communication is very essential. You have to be able to participate because, like I said, in university, especially undergrad, you do a lot of group assignments. So if you can't participate, what's going to happen with you? I'm just going to say, no, I'm going to do it. You can't do it by yourself. That's a policy. And participation doesn't only mean that you have to participate in group assignments. Also, class lectures, you have to be able to participate. Participation means that you interact. So for example, many students, like I said, who do well in high school, when they get to varsity, they're struggling because they are scared of other people that are talking or they are participating. They're like, no, that one, he knows too much. I don't know anything. You were even so scared that what if you say something that's wrong? Remember, we are all there to learn. If you didn't want to learn, you wouldn't be there. So if you knew something, if you knew everything, why then are you in the university? We go to school because we want to learn. So if you're scared to say something, to ask a question, to answer a question, how are you going to get the knowledge? Are you just going to sit there for the rest of the time and you listen? Sometimes you, just by asking a question, you understand a lot of things. And so if you are scared to talk in class, you can always go to see the lecturers after class or during their consultation hours to talk to them one-on-one if you are not a public person. But I would advise you that you start practicing it. It's very essential. You're going to lose a lot of things. You're going to lose a lot of things if you can't socialize yourself on campus or during your university life. It's going to help you a lot. Do not isolate yourself and say, I don't want to get into knowing people. I'm just here by myself, for myself. We all know that we are individual. We didn't come to university because of someone. We are there for ourselves, and we know that we're working hard for ourselves. But again, you don't just isolate yourself and say, I'm just going to go to class and I get back to my rest. No, it's going to be difficult, for real. Because sometime, at some point in time, your neighbor or your deskmate or your friend, not your friend, your class member is going to understand something more than you do. And if you are isolating yourself from people, how can you learn? Because remember, we learn every day, and it doesn't matter who you learn from. You can learn from your next neighbor. You can say, did you understand that thing? I don't understand. And they can explain to you if they do. And from there, sometimes they say, like, students who are scared of lecturers easily understand with people their age, right? So do not isolate yourself. Be actively in participation, maybe in class, on campus. Socialize yourself, attend events, socialize with activities on campus. They're going to help you a lot. Communicate. If you can't communicate, you're not going to be able to get help. If you communicate, you can access resources on campus. Help desks can help you. Writing centers are there. And if you can't tell someone your problem, how are they going to know? They're not going to know, right? The fifth one is support and campus resources. I just talked about it for the isolation and communication thingy. So you can get a lot of help on campus, be it counseling, be it advising, academic advising. You're confused, you're stressed, you don't know what to do, maybe because you applied for something and you got something else. Many students do complain of that, because maybe you were doing science in high school, and because of capacity and stuff and whatever, now you're going to do a BCom degree in the university, and you're stressed, you're struggling, and you don't know what to do. I was also sometime in that situation, but I found the right path, and I'm working towards that, right? So guys, do not isolate yourself because you won't be able to get help. Campus resources are there to help you. Support systems are there, peer mentors, tutors, facilitators, and everything that you need. The university provides everything so that you can do well, exceptionally well during your academic period, so that you get good performance, right? Study habits and academic expectations. You're not going to study the same way that you did in high school. Remember, I said it's a lot of work. Study habits must be different now. Yeah, it's a lot of work. You have to be able to categorize and prioritize. You have to be able to know that I'm going to be doing this particular thing from this period to that period, so that you don't get lost out, right? So you don't get lost. Academic expectation is like you coming to the university knowing that I want to get this thing during this period of time. That is why not everyone who enters university gets their degree at the same time. You and your friend can get into the university at the same period of time. Maybe you had a 3-year course, but you didn't graduate at the same time, or you will not graduate at the same time, because why? Your friend's expectations might not be your expectation, right? What you expect to get is not what your friend expects to get. So sometimes some students do actually do this thing intentionally because they do not want to go stay home, especially students who are funded by maybe NSFAS and other bursary programs. They prefer to stay on campus for maybe another year, just so that they don't get to go home and start experiencing the joblessness and job search markets, which are not even working. So that's the thing. Remember, you have expectations even before you come to university. You must be able to know that within this period of time, if my course is 3 years, I must be able to finish it in 3 years, right? Have expectations. What do I expect of myself? What do I want to get? If you don't have expectations, then you are just there like someone without direction. You just go left, you go right, you go left. You don't have focus. You have expectations, you are focused, you are determined, you discipline yourself, you prioritize your goals, and then you plan your activities. And what's going to be the problem? You're going to do exceptionally well for real life. Okay guys, so I've named 6 things that you must look into them before you get into university. The first one is independence. You can either have negative side or positive. Decide which one you want to go on, but remember the consequences, right? The second one is you must be able to budget. Budgeting is very essential. Managing your finances, your everything. The third one is time management. You must be able to manage your time, prioritize your goals, and say, I'm going to be doing this thing from 7 to 8 and the next from 10 to 11, so that you work everything together, right? Fourth was isolation, social communication, active participation. You must be able to look into these things. Sometimes people be like, I'm an introvert. It's not gonna help you. For real, it's not gonna help you. We're not saying that you just go out and you talk like randomly. No, you know what I'm talking about, right? One was support and campus resources. They're there to help you. Counseling, if you're struggling with your mental health, if you're struggling with isolation, you can go see them for counseling, and you do not need to pay for those resources. The last one was study habits and expectations. The last one, study habits and academic expectations. So with these 6 things that I've listed out, please guys look into them so that you don't get lost when you get to university. I know that's going to be starting soon. Next month is not far, and some students actually first year orientation starts in January, so you have to be on campus so that you can experience the university life before actually starting academics, right? So guys, I really wish you guys the best. I'm going to be bringing more content for you, engaging student live content and other things, so that you don't get lost when you get to university. This is just like me trying to guide you on the path to take, on things that you need to do, things that are very essential and necessary before you start your academic journey. So thank you so much for watching, and I do appreciate your support. Like I said before, don't forget to like the video, give it a thumbs up, and comment. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think this video was good? Do you think I really touched some things that you were thinking about, or something? If you were already a university student, did you struggle with these things during your first year, or you were still struggling with them in your second year? Tell me in the comment section, and we're gonna see what to do, talking more about university life and things that you should do or things that you should not do, right? Don't forget to share the video with your friends, prospective students that are not yet university students, but they're still going to be soon, because you haven't registered yet. So I think maybe you are not a student yet, but somehow you are a student, university student. Yeah. So don't forget to share the video with your friends. I really do appreciate your support. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, because more engaging content. And guys, I'm doing this video because I want to help you. I don't want you to go through the same struggles that I went through during my first year, so that you do even well and even much better than some of us did, and we're going to be proud of you for real life. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, and we're going to be talking about something very important as well. Subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll see you shortly. Bye.